Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to Mindustry. It has been a few days since I recorded this. Probably think it's been 4 or 5 days. Last time we played, I believe we were having issues with our salt flats. What the hell? Why are you under attack? I don't even want to know about that. Um, yeah, we're having issues with salt flats, and so we were having issues with the power generation for some reason. These guys kept turning off. You might notice that I am not running the time dilation mod down here anymore. That is because that was the culprit. Apparently, if I sat here and I ran the game on anything past times 8, these guys would basically slowly lose cryo fluid and then they would eventually turn themselves off. So I turned off the time dilation mod. It felt like it was more hurting than it was helping. I probably would have kept it enabled if there was a feature for the mod to be able to adjust the sliders and make the times 8 speed the fastest that the slider would ever go to, because that's kind of anything past that was kind of when trouble started to happen. So I turned it off. We weren't actually using it all that much. I was using it basically to like skip ahead time, but it's okay. I'll figure out a way to pass the time basically. In between episodes, I believe last episode we had that issue. I had to fix that issue. We did capture the coastline. It took me 2 tries. I actually failed twice on the coastline. And then I think the third attempt was off camera. But I did eventually capture it, and that unlocked the research for the support boats, the tier 2s, tier 3s, and tier 4s. They look very, very nifty, and it'll be interesting to basically test them out. The tier 5 looks like it's locked behind the naval fortress, which is the new zone that we did unlock after completing coastline. Now, this is an enemy base, which is going to be interesting, so I need to make units to attack it, and it sounds like it's going to be on the water. So this might be an opportunity for me to try out naval units, right? That might be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if I'm going to do the nuclear production facility today. I guess we'll have to talk about that. But in between episodes, I did capture a bunch of zones over here. I did capture a second metaglass facility. I think I'm producing it over here. So I made this metaglass facility. I also made a pyrrhotite facility. So I made another pyrrhotite facility. I made another plastanium facility. I don't know if I did Sector 1 into silicon on camera or off camera, but whatever. Lead and copper. So originally at Salt Flats, I was getting all of my lead and copper by basically using monos to mine stuff here. My monos kept disappearing, and I don't know if it's because of the time dilation mod. I don't know if the game is just bugged and that kind of shit happens. I don't know. But the monos were not reliable, so I did create a lead and copper sector. This place is pumping 6 launch pads of copper and lead. So these guys are doing 1.8k a minute. Probably going to get one more of these at some point. And it looks like we have enough resources for the most part that we can go ahead and ship out. We're a little low on blast compound, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and launch. We'll launch with the maximum that we can. That's fine. And we will go to the nuclear production complex. Now, this is the first sector. So I did do this. This is the last sector I attempted before I quit the game. This is before I basically deleted all my save data, and I quit the game, and I decided to make a series of me recording Mindustry. So I did fail this once. This is one of those sectors where the Guardian is far more dangerous than the sum of all of the enemies leading up to the Guardian. I think the Guardian is one of these guys. I think it's an Eclipse. It's the tier 5 flare, basically. It's a very, very beefy boy. And I thought I came in there cocky, and the Guardian completely steamrolled me. So I have done this before. I do know what I'm up against, so I'm not going to under-prepare this time. This map does look different, so I guess maps are seeded. They are not static, which is interesting because most of the maps so far looked very similar. It's interesting. Anyway, I will probably set up the core my core starter real quick. Might as well, right? This was the first sector, by the way, that I had access to thorium. Because I didn't do any of the optional sectors, basically, on my first playthrough. And this was the first sector that I had that had access to thorium. Which was a game changer for me, because thorium is a very, very good... Oh, wow. That's, okay. It's almost easier to defend. Yeah. I think it was seeded, so so it looks like these maps are seeded, which is interesting. But yeah, this should be quite easy to defend. So they're only flying from here, assuming that air units come from this side of the screen. Like, I can just basically block that off and then funnel them downwards kind of in this arc here, and then set up, like, defenses all along this arc, and just trash any air units that would fly over. And then that gives me a big-ass firing line for ground units, basically. So I could just kind of funnel them through here, I guess, is what I'm going to do. After dealing with that absolutely atrocious extreme level enemy base, I have seen the light of how annoying phase walls are to fucking deal with. So this is what I'm basically using. I know that surge walls tend to be the preferred defensive structure because they have the most HP. But I quite like the bullet reflection on phase walls. If it's annoying to deal with, it's probably annoying to fight against if you're an enemy, you know what I mean? So I will double layer this stuff. I'm probably going to leave plastanium here because the boss does have lasers, which I am fully aware of. I do want to do this along with... Yeah, so I am going to compound plastanium here. I'm not stupid. I will be doing plastanium just for, you know, shits and giggles. So I'm going to basically funnel the ground units this way into this arc. If I wanted to, I could just do this, I guess. Maybe I will do that. Yeah, I think it's actually going to flow better. So we can do this instead. Right? And funnel them all the way along this. That should actually be plastanium, to be totally frank with you. So we'll go ahead and make this plastanium. And then we'll just go ahead and make this surge alloy. Did that cover everything? It almost covered everything. Almost. Cool. Well, this should be relatively nice. Ideally, I'd like that to be phase, but I don't know how reflected enemy bullets are going to behave when they hit the backside of these plastanium walls, so I'm going to go for surge. It'll be fine. So go ahead and build all this stuff, and then we will try to get some kind of defenses going. I will want to get mender. Well, do I even need menders? Probably not, but I'm going to do them anyway. Yeah, that'll be nice. I don't know what I'm going to choose as far as the combo is concerned. I always debate. I think blast compound with frozen, like the cryofluid stuff, is more armor piercing damage. Statistically, it's better. It's more armor piercing damage. I don't know what the meta tends to be. Again, I haven't really watched much in the way of gameplay from like other players doing this game. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. I feel like water is going to be easiest. Do I even have any water on this map? I totally do. So I could just, you know, pipe water over here and then do electrified with like surge alloy. Right? I don't know. I kind of like the idea of cryofluid, to be totally frank with you. I actually like the idea of cryofluid because that not only links up to blast compound and the blast attacks effect doing I think more damage than electrified and wet, but I think also the cryofluid also slows down both movement speed and attack speed. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's probably going to be the way to go. On the walls. Okay, we do want to figure out... You guys can just... We'll have to figure out what the first enemy is going to be. I need to figure out where the thorium is. As far as power is concerned, this map is actually a lot easier because you can do thermal on these guys, which is quite nice. Yeah, just build these two. And that should handle like any enemies while we kind of get our shit together. Go ahead and build all these thermal generators. So I'm really happy. I got the finale for the Starbound episode out like 30 minutes ago, which is really, really interesting. So I don't really know what else I'm going to be playing. Like, to be totally frank with you, I don't know what I'm going to be playing next. Half of me really wants to go back into Starbound. I was like, I feel like I could do a better series now that I know the ins and outs of fracking universe and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like I could totally do it better now. But another part of me kind of, I think I did point this out in the epilogue video that like I'm tired. It would be nice to take a break from take a break from Starbound for a little while, which will be nice. I don't know what I'm gonna play next. I don't even know if this game is no offense. I don't even know if this game is good enough for me to make into a full-fledged video on the channel, on the main channel. I don't really know. Go ahead and have these polys come and help me disassemble everything. Polys are starting to grow on me. These are very, very useful. Monos are keeping everything, keeping copper and lead fully stocked, which is nice. But yeah, Starbound. So I finally got the finale for Starbound finished. Half of me is kind of disappointed that it feels like the end of the series is kind of rushed. I guess hindsight is 20/20, but I mean, if I could do this series over again, knowing what I know now, I would have inserted like another episode between the second episode and the epilogue episode of me just doing bees, alcohol, mechs, that kind of thing. Just all the stuff that I never really got into, basically, in the finale, in the entire series, the entire playthrough as a whole. That would have been nice, just to kind of, you know, give some closure with all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to go back and do another Starbound series, but I probably would not be a good idea. I'd lose my mind. So I don't know. I have a couple of videos. I have a couple of video ideas lined up of just like not game related. Well, they are game related, obviously. I consider my channel to be a video game channel for the most part. So they are game related, but they're not me playing a game. It's more me talking about a game or controversy or news article or whatever. I do have a video script writing about Guild Wars 2 because I'm not tremendously happy with the state of the game so far. I don't think that the new DLC is all that good. But yeah. Let's go ahead and handle this wave and then we can figure out some kind of ammo situation. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some swarmers. And honest to God, as I said earlier, I'm not concerned about the enemies leading up to the Guardian. For the most part, the enemies were relatively easy. I think I'm going to have one Cyclone. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put a Tsunami as close as I can to the enemy like that. And then I'll have one Cyclone up here. And then I'm just going to have Swarmers and Swarmers. Right? That'll be nice. Yeah, I'll just do that instead. Because then I can spray Tsunami. I can fill the Tsunami with cryo fluid, right? And then and that'll spray cryo fluid. I'm thinking about the Guardian in hindsight. Spray cryo fluid at the Guardian, and then all the blast compound stuff will deal extra damage to it. I do want one Cyclone just for clumps of enemies. I know that Swarmers and blast compound in general does have an area of effect. What's the area? 3.7 tiles, as opposed to the Cyclone's 7.5 tiles. So it's like twice the AoE, basically. Alright. All that's good to go. So we got blast compound coming in, which will be nice. And then I just need to get cryo fluid being produced. But yeah, Starbound. I had fun with the series. It was good. I don't really know what I'm going to be playing next. It'll be interesting to see what else I had to play next. There's a pretty nifty game called Barony that I'm kind of interested in. That game might be what I do next. I don't know. I think I'm gonna focus on my PC. So I'm building this. This computer, by the way. Holy shit, it's beautiful. It is. It is. The case is an Obsidian. It's a Corsair Obsidian 1000D. So the case is specifically designed to allow two systems to be present in the case, basically. So it supports a up to an EATX motherboard in one slot, and then the other slot right next to it is a mini ITX. So I have two systems in the case, basically. It's a big boy. It's a very very big PC. It's not pleasant to try and move. I threw my back out last week trying to pick it up and move it onto a table. So, not the most pleasant thing in the world to move. And I haven't even attached the glass panes, because the case comes with glass panes, basically, on the side of the case. The glass would be, like, fucking astronomically heavy. It would be even worse. So, I have to wonder how heavy the case is going to be when those are attached, right? Because that's going to be nuts. I probably should go over... Oh, shit. What the... I really stepped into like a beehive here. So this thing has 4 enemy bases attacking it. 2 extreme and 2 eradication level. That's going to be fun. This will be really interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we can slam waves while we're kind of waiting around. I had to think about that for a second. That is not simplistic routing, if you catch my drift. Yeah, I'm really excited about this guy. It's he's a powerhouse. I'm rocking 2 i9 CPU. I'm rocking 2 Intel i9 CPUs in both of the systems. I haven't bought the GPUs yet. That is the last thing that I'm waiting on, basically. Because I want to stick a 4090 into the gaming system, and then I'm probably going to go for the Intel 770 Arc for the little guy. I really like the Intels for editing. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of Intel right now. I like them. I never really understood the hate for Intel. It's budget stuff, which is, whatever. It's okay. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. It'll be very, very nice when it's finally done. So, I'm gonna move you guys up. Yeah, I decided to splurge and go the editing system. So I have the Mini ITX is going to be my editing system, basically. That guy has, as far as RAM is concerned, that guy has. Sorry, I was thinking about something else for a second. I don't know why. The Mini ITX system has 64 gigabytes of RAM, 32 is one of the two. And then the big boy has 128, which is fucking astronomical to me. I'm running 32 gigabytes in the system, and I've never even come close to RAM capacity. So I have to wonder what lunatic is gonna possibly need fucking 128 gigabytes of RAM. That's nuts, dude. It's so unnecessary, but I love it. The entire system is just like complete excess. That feels like that's what Corsair designed. You know what I mean? That's really what it feels like Corsair did. You know? It feels like Corsair designed a system for excess. You know? So, and that's fine, because it's exactly what I want. I was thinking about some kind of way to get editing going somehow, and this was the way to do it. So I was like, do I buy a second PC and then, go that and kind of go that direction? And then I looked at people complaining about having to like juggle 2 full towers at the same time, and I was like, there has to be a manufacturer that produces 2 separate a case that can possibly support two actual full-fledged systems, right? That has to be a thing. I mean, I cannot be the only person on the planet where that's an issue, right? I can't. And sure enough, Corsair was like, nah, I got you, fam. So And here we go. This is the Guardian. Let's see how bad it is. There they are, big boy. Yay! Actually did better than I thought. Look at that. Let's get a repair. Actually, can't you guys repair yourselves? You guys heal each other, right? Yeah, you totally do. You're fine. Cool. That's it. That is the nuclear production complex. First try. Actually, technically third try. I did lose twice on my own playthrough. So what did that unlock? That should have unlocked everything else, right? So that should have unlocked air blast drills. The ultimate drill requires large amounts of power. How much better are these than the laser drills? The laser drills mine. They're a 3x3. They need 66 power per second. Let's go ahead and just test this out. So a 3x3 is 1.12, for instance, thorium per second, But if you air blast it, it's a 4x4 and it's 2 per second. How much power do you use? 3 times the power, though. So it looks like it's double the output, but for 3 times the power. Is that an issue? I don't think so. Yeah, the base drill speed's about 50 to... Yeah, I'd see that. They're definitely worth it. Those are the ultimate drill. They are, in fact, the ultimate drill. Didn't I unlock something else? This guy. The Spectre fires large bullets at air and ground targets. How is this guy? What ammo do you take? Graphite, thorium, or pyrrhotite? Do you have any homing? Fires large bullets at air and ground targets? No. Graphite, thorium. You got Pierce on thorium. That's interesting. Plus 70% fire rate with graphite. What's the DPS on that like? Because thorium is 80 damage. But the graphite fires 70% faster for only 50 damage. I almost feel like the graphite's more DPS. You know what I mean? Pyrrhotite also applies burning, and it has pierce. And it deals damage in an area. So it deals 70 damage, but it also deals area damage. I feel like pyrrhotite's the way to go then, right? Like thorium is the cheap option. Thorium is the option that you go for if you don't want to ship in, pyrrhotite, right? But I feel like pyrrhotite is the option. You know what I mean? Like pyrrhotite is the best ammo for this guy. This is interesting. Can I build one? Isn't there an achievement to build a foreshadow, a meltdown, and a yeah, there you go. I got the achievement. Invulnerable. Build the meltdown, the Spectre, and the foreshadow. Awesome. Cool. Well, that is nuclear production complex.